American Dream Dusty Rhodes as he prepared to go against Arn Anderson in a Texas Deathmatch inside a steel cage. The match that you'll see, our main event here, as a matter of fact. Joe Watts will call the action in just a few moments from the Lakefront Arena in New Orleans. But prior to going to the ring, Dusty asked to make a statement to the fans of Power Pro Wrestling. It was about the Universal Wrestling Federation, about Cowboy Bill Watts, and about the state of wrestling at the current time. Dusty, never at a loss for words, had this to say.
Cowboy Bill Watts, President-elect Chairman of the Board, the head honcho from Oklahoma. Universal Wrestling Federation and Bill Watts is bringing the greatest array of talent throughout this country under this one banner. Obviously, proof is Dusty Rhodes, Jim McAdoo, longtime partner, longtime rival with the Cowboy Bill Watts. And going through the country and seeing the great wrestling fans that know the difference between if you say, commercial for Cheerios, if you will, they know the real thing. We spent a lifetime wrestling. That's what's on the marquee. It's very simple. You can play music, you can rip shirts off, you can go 5 minutes and call yourself the world champion. But unless you wrestle in Universal Wrestling Federation, all for Bill Watts, chairman of the board, if you will, Cowboy, then only the best, and all the rest don't matter.
Those comments from a true superstar in professional wrestling, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. And now let's go to the Lakefront Arena. Here's Joel Watts.
Thank you, Jim. We're back in action at the University of New Orleans Lakefront Arena as we see Dusty Rhodes with his valet Baby Doll. He prepares to take on Arn Anderson, the world television champion, as Arn has a few words with Baby Doll, and Dusty doesn't allow that situation to get any further into its progress as he nips it in the bud with the bionic elbow, and Arn Anderson goes straight to the turnbuckle area. He seems to really be having some words with Baby Doll, but I think he better turn his attention to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, one of the top contenders for the NWA World's Heavyweight title. Dusty Rhodes has held that title on 2 separate occasions. Not many people can say that they are a 2-time NWA World's Heavyweight champion. Dusty Rhodes is a great wrestler. He's extremely nimble for his size. He has every hold mastered. That bionic elbow can really catch you. He has a terrific flying body press. The referee for this event is Carl Fergie. I'm sure he'll have his hands full as this match progresses. Arn Anderson has sworn that he will re-break Dusty's legs. Of course, he and Ric Flair broke Dusty's ankle just a few months back in an attempt to keep Dusty out of the NWA World's Heavyweight title picture. They have not done so. It looked at one point like Dusty's career would have been over. Dusty with that elbow once again. He goes back and gets a little bit of revenge on the ankle of Arn Anderson, and we're terribly sorry, but at this point it looks like we're going to have to take a commercial commitment. Let's go back to Jim Ross.
Tremendous battle we have here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with the balance of this contest. Arn Anderson and Dusty Rhodes in the cage, and more Joel Watts commentary after this timeout from your station.
Like an Arn trying to punch his way out of it. Nice trip by Dusty Rhodes. That's one of the things right there is an example of an experienced veteran in the ring. Dusty held that leg at a distance and waited for the exact correct time to go in there and make that trip. He didn't rush it while Arn was trying to use the fist. He waited till Arn threw himself off balance and then countered. Arn with a kick to the shin. Of course, that is the ankle that Arn helped to break along with Ric Flair. We appreciate you staying with us, everybody. We hope you can make it out to the arenas and see the next UWF event in your area. There's nothing like it. It's a lot of fun to watch it on television, but it's twice as exciting in the arena. You got the fans around you. You can smell the popcorn. It's an added dimension that you just can't quite capture on television. Arn Anderson really hammering Dusty Rhodes on the outside of the ring, using the cage to his advantage, as so often happens in cage matches. That cage is just too violent of a weapon to pass up. You see Arn Anderson really putting the punishment to Dusty Rhodes. Looked as if Rhodes might have suffered a slight laceration there as Arn Anderson trying to keep him outside of the ring. Referee Carl Fergie is outside of the ring. This match, of course, has no disqualifications. Keep in mind, Baby Doll is outside of the cage on the floor of the arena. Dusty fighting back now. He fights fire with fire as we see him take Arn Anderson's head directly into that steel cage, just like we saw Arn do to him earlier. Oh, Dusty with a hard right. You can see it really connect to the forehead of Anderson. And back into the cage. Dusty really driving Arn Anderson into that cage. Oh, look at this. Dusty Rhodes is a good technical wrestler, as I said before. He's a veteran of the ring, and he can also get brutal when the time comes to do so. And Dusty will fight you. He is never one to back down from a street fight. My father will tell you all about that at length if you were to ask him. Dusty Rhodes really putting the punishment to Arn Anderson. A hard elbow again, a bionic elbow, as he likes to call it. Arn Anderson swinging wildly. And again we see Dusty. He is so calm in the ring. Even when he's upset with his opponent, he doesn't let that alter his wrestling style. As we see Dusty going in, he tried to hit Arn with a knee, but caught his ankle, it looked like, on the turnbuckle. And Arn Anderson instinctively and quickly tries to punish the area that Dusty inadvertently hurt. And now look at this, he's going so far as to take the boot off of Dusty's foot to really attack that ankle further. I once broke my leg in a very similar injury to that while playing football. And let me tell you, it is really painful when you get that kind of impact on it. But Dusty's the kind of guy that can go with that pain and can continue to compete. He wouldn't still be in professional wrestling if he wasn't that kind of person. There are times when that adrenaline kicks in. You don't feel any pain, but in a situation like this, I don't know if there's any amount of adrenaline in the world that could try and conquer the hurt that Dusty's feeling right now. But Dusty, with that boot, Arn Anderson just got a little bit overconfident, and Dusty turned the tables really quick. Of course, as I said before, this is a no disqualification match. You see Baby Doll on the outside of the ring really cheering Dusty on. You see Dusty once again really hammer Arn Anderson. I think that boot was the thing that turned the tables for Dusty. But again, Arn goes back to his ace in the hole as he once again attacks that injured part of Rhodes. I think, from watching Dusty wrestle, I personally feel like he is a better wrestler on his feet than he is on the mat. And without that ankle, when you lose that wheel, you have lost your mobility on your feet. Arn Anderson is using great strategy in this match. But of course, this is an important match which is leading up to the Superdome Challenge between Dusty and Nature Boy Ric Flair for the NWA World Heavyweight title. As I was saying earlier in the hour, Dusty trying to regain that title for the third time in his career. If Dusty were to lose this match, it would certainly hurt his standings and rankings in his quest for that world title. And, of course, that's what Ric Flair has sent Arn Anderson to do, is to try and break that leg of Dusty Rhodes and put him out of contention for the world's heavyweight title. I think that's one reason Rick has held the title so long, is because he's so good in those mind games where he tries to get other people to do his dirty work for him. As Dusty, we see him cranking up and really firing up on Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson beat to the mat once again. This has been a seesaw battle so far. However, it looks like to me that the only thing Arn Anderson has been able to do successfully is get that leg. But Dusty with the flying body press. 1, 2, and 3. He catches Arn for the 3 count. Dusty Rhodes is the winner of this match here in New Orleans. And Dusty is not finished with Arn Anderson yet. He's going to whack him with that boot one more time. And the fans here in New Orleans love it as Dusty leaves the ring with his valet baby doll. This great PPW main event. Let's go back to Jim.
Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, with another victory, and a hard-fought one, as a matter of fact. Arn Anderson did his very best to fulfill the wishes of the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Anderson worked on the leg repeatedly of Dusty Rhodes throughout that contest, but Dusty Rhodes prevailing as he has on so many occasions. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, victorious on our exclusive main event here on Power Pro Wrestling. We'll be back and tell you what we'll have next week and a few comments after our final timeout from the Mid-South Sports Network.